going on, guys? Welcome to the We Want Picks post weigh-in show. I'm Minty Bets, here to recap the weigh-ins for UFC Abu Dhabi. This Saturday, we've got a really early fight card at 9 a.m. Pacific, so 12 noon for you East Coasters. Get some rest, don't sleep in. I may tweet out some picks because there are some props I like, so go check that out on Twitter at Minty Bets. Now, before we begin, there was no weigh-in stream, so there were a few fighters that I didn't get to see. However, the media did a pretty good job posting clips and photos of most of the fighters. Shout out to Helen Yee for posting those on Twitter, and shout out to the UFC Espanol team for posting clear clips as well. Now, also gotta let you guys know, it is past midnight where I am, so if my voice gets a little lost or I pronounce some things wrong, just no, I'm tired, okay? We've got 13 fights on this card. Let's get started with a bantamweight main event between Nurmagomedov and Corey Sandhagen. Now, Sandhagen is the dog in this one, with his last victory coming to Rob Font in Tennessee. I was there. Not for the fights, though. I took a southern road trip and I drove from Jacksonville, Florida to Georgia, through the Carolinas, and then ended up in Nashville, Tennessee. It was amazing, but I left the night of the fights, unfortunately, because I totally forgot that it was happening. Anyway, pointless story. Corey looks good at 136 pounds. Meanwhile, he is facing Umar Nurmagomedov, who is currently undefeated in the UFC, and he's a minus 325 favorite over at DRAFTKINGS. He was the first fighter to step onto the scale, and he comes in with the weight of 135 pounds and looking lean and cut. In the co-main event, a familiar face. Nurmagomedov just fought a little over a month ago, coming off a third-round finish to Antonio Tricoli. He was the last fighter to be weighed, and he came in at 186 pounds. Nothing to be concerned about, though. He looked fine. He's facing Michal Oleksiejczuk, who also just fought last month, but the beginning of June. He's 1-3 his last 4, and his weight today was 185. Next up, Marlon Chito Vera versus Davison Figueiredo. Chito last lost to O'Malley, and guys, I just think that was a weird matchup. Chito came in at 136 with a shaved head, and I miss his hair. He has such beautiful hair, and I know it grows back, but I don't know. He's looking like he has so much sadness in his eyes at the weigh-ins. I hope I'm just overthinking as usual, but yeah, he looked okay. And Figgy looked excellent, though, at 135.5 pounds. This next one is a very intriguing fight to me. Michael Chiesa is the largest favorite on the card. He is a 6-1 favorite to Tony Ferguson. Now, Tony has dropped his last 7, but Chiesa has been on a cold streak of his own with 3 defeats. But man, Tony, after all these years and the skid he's been on, still looks excellent at 170 pounds. And Mr. Big Favorite over here looks great and is probably feeling great at 170 as well. Now, before I get to Jacob's Lock of the Week, be sure to head over to WeWantPicks.com and become a premium member to grab all of Angelo's and Jacob's picks for the weekend. They are working non-stop to get you guys paid, so go follow, go subscribe, and go become a premium member. Moving on to the women's strawweight bout between Mackenzie Dern and Lupi Godinez. Miss Godinez is the lucky lady that gets to be Jacob's Lock of the Week. Now, both women are gorgeous, but I have to agree with Jacob. I do like Lupi in this one as well, and I like her price. Now, this one will be her first fight as a UFC betting underdog, and she weighed 115 pounds. 115 and a half pounds, and she's looking fantastic. But Mackenzie Dern looks insane. She looks insane at 115. I'm speechless. I don't even know the words I would use to describe her. All respectful. And she looks like perfect. She looks like perfection. This next fight opens up the main card. I must move on, but I'm still thinking about her. A lightweight bout between Joel Alvarez and Elvis Brenner. Alvarez, just hear me out. Alvarez looks like a Spanish Aaron Rodgers to me. Maybe it's just the mustache, but I don't know. He looks like Aaron Rodgers. He looks decent, though, at 155.5. And the Brazilian Elvis Brenner came in at 155. On to the feature prelim between 2 top 15 light heavyweights, Azamat Murzakanov and Alonzo Menefield. Alonzo weighed 204 and Azamat at 205 pounds. In the lightweight division, we've got Muhammad Yahya taking on Kawa Fernandez. Now, Fernandez weighed 155.5 pounds, while Yahya came in at 155. Next are the heavyweights, Shamil Ghazi versus Don'Tale Mayes. Shamil most recently fought Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and if you watched the We Want Picks call-in show on Thursday, Biggie Boy made an appearance and stayed on for a while, as well as Amanda Hebos. So shout out to them for taking the time out of their day to come on with the boys and hang out with you guys too. I think that was so cool of them. Ghazi weighed 262 pounds, while Mayes stepped on right at 265 pounds. Next, Guram Kutateladze weighed 155 pounds, and he's taken on Jordan Vucenic. Vucenic is making his UFC debut, and as my good friend Ben the Bane Davis tweeted, this man at this point is made up of 95% ink. No issues with that because I have tattoos. Oh my god, I'm looking dumb here. I have tattoos as well. They're flowers. In the women's strawweight bout, we've got Victoria Dudakova and Sam Hughes. Dudakova weighed 115.5 pounds, while Sam came in a little light at 114, and I actually don't think that I saw any clips or photos of them, but maybe once this is published, Jacob will find them. 2 more to go. Lightweight Jai Herbert stepped onto the scale at 155.5 pounds. I keep forgetting the half pounds. And Rolando Bedoya weighed 155. Both of these guys looked really good. And last but not least, Cedricus Dumas came in at 186 pounds and Dennis Tulin at 185. That is it, my friends. That is a wrap. Please come back next week for the post-weigh-in show for UFC Fight Night back in Vegas at the UFC Apex between Sergey Spivak and Marcin Tybura. I will have picks for this on ESPN+. See you next week.